I'm at this gun shop here called NB Defense Solutions. I'm here to pick up a SIG P320 police surplus. Law enforcement trade-in. There's Derek there.
Hello.
Hey Derek, what's going on?
Doing good, brother.
All right, we got to unbox this SIG P320 here. Let's see what it looks like. All right. Thanks, Derek, for also letting me know that you got this in shop the day of, and the next day. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. All right, so first thing we notice here, the handle, it's a police surplus for sure. That definitely looks used. But the rest of the pistol does not look that bad. Let's clear it first. Okay. And we got nothing there. If you look at the slide, it actually looks really new. The slide looks pretty good. And even the frame here looks pretty good. It's just when it comes to the grip itself, and on this side, it's not that bad. So somebody probably had this in their holster. It was right-handed, and this would have been sticking out on the right side. And this would have been exposed to the seat belt. This is probably like seat belt marks from when they're getting in and out of the squad car. This is gonna be just wear from just rubbing on stuff. Probably been to the range a few times, but you know, we have to also look at the bore.
Another thing I might add also, you don't even see no holster wear marks on it either, that you normally see on a police trade-in.
Oh, good catch, yeah. Yeah, good catch. So maybe the law enforcement agency just didn't have this for very long. They said, we need to get rid of these things. I wonder why. All right, let's take a look at the internals here. Derek at NB Defense Solutions offers gunsmithing services. Not
actually light armor at
light armor. Now I wouldn't say anything super serious, but
so you can see a little bit of the wear internally over here, which is a good sign. That means this has been used. Barrel is actually pretty good, so it's not too bad. A little bit of gunk, that's always a good thing. Looking at the barrel, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. At least from what I have noticed.
Here, let's hold that up here to see a little bit better. It's dirty, so whoever had it didn't clean it before they gave it police trade-in. It makes sense. So we just need to clean it out when we get back.
A little bit of dirtiness.
Oh yeah, it's a little dirty in here too. So that's fine. I got this from AIM Surplus. They have them listed at 300. So
that's the average for the market. Brand new, these go for about 600 bucks, which is it's okay. It's okay. I wouldn't spend 600 bucks for a 320, me personally.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's a 50% difference. You know, it's like 50% off for a little bit of use.
I don't know, man. I just do it. I wouldn't want to carry it, especially I love to front carry or appendix carry. I don't want nothing to happen to my family jewels. The best way to put it.
there is a lot of negative sentiment towards the SIG P320. So what we got to do is we got to drop test it. What do you think, Derek?
That sounds fun.
Yeah. So we've got a nice little snap cap round. We could test it out and see what it does. The main thing about SIG P320s is that initial runs of them had an issue where they were not drop test safe, and that's not good, especially if you're in law enforcement or if you're in the military. We've got a magazine, we've got the snap cap. We're gonna put it in here, we're gonna drop it and see what it does. You ready? Well, actually, let's just pull the trigger and see what it does first. So let's check out the trigger pull here. Okay, there's the breaking point. It's a police surplus. It's got a pretty heavy trigger, honestly. I think I've heard that they do have more harsh triggers.
So I got another 320.
You have another 320, so we plop it in there. Yep. That's a really crisp one, yeah.
That felt good.
Really crisp.
Let me try the other one now.
Now you try the other one. You're gonna notice that, you know, it is definitely hard to pull that trigger, comparatively.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a heavy trigger pull.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's like 6 pounds, it feels like.
That's gotta be something. Yeah. You can hear how just nice that one is compared to this one.
You want to feel it?
Yeah, I'll take a look at that one too, yeah. Yeah, that one's a lot nicer, a lot smoother, the breaking point, and then...
And again.
Who's. Well, see, also this one's been... You can see the wear on the bottom of this one as well.
You can also see the difference with the...
Oh, the SIG marking, yeah. Yeah, you can see there's a difference right there. This one says SIG SAR and this one just says SIG.
So the bottom plate, you can also notice from here visually that this one has a little bit more of a hump compared to this one. This one's smooth. Visually
interesting, yeah.
Seeing it.
Okay, let's drop test this. This is not as hard and it's not going to be as harsh on the weapon itself. So we'll use both these paddings here. Let's see if it goes off. Let's see, how would somebody drop it? Like, whoops. Is that how somebody would drop it? They holster it out. Nope, didn't go off. And we drop it on this one. Did it go off? Nope, didn't go off. What do you think, Derek? We drop tested this and it didn't go off here.
I still won't trust it after seeing those videos, brother.
See, we're gonna pull the trigger now. There's the trigger pull. So, police surplus SIG P320 unboxed. We're gonna take this to the range and give it a little range test and see how it does. All right, here we are at the range, ready to test out this police surplus SIG P320. All right, SIG P320, very controversial in today's gun world. We have to look back at why a lot of this negative sentiment came towards the SIG P320. I mean, when you think about it, SIG has always had a good reputation for having quality pistols. Think about the SIG P320s, a pistol that was adopted by the elite US Navy SEALs. Praised for its accuracy, reliability, and functionality in harsh environments, this pistol was probably one of the best pistols during the 1990s. With having such a great reputation, what happened to the SIG P320? Well, in 2014 when the P320 was released, there was an issue. It was not drop safe. There was a certain angle, if you dropped it at a 30-ish degree angle, the pistol had a chance to go off. And SIG addressed this. They made some changes. Serial number prefix 38As were mainly the ones that had this issue, and they fixed them. Pause. How do I know that this SIG P320 was an upgraded model, or if it came out the factory with the upgraded components? Well, if you go to SIG's website or type in Google SIG P320 serial number voluntary upgrade program, you'll come up with this website and you can put in the serial number to your SIG P320. You can look up and see if yours was already upgraded or if it was out the factory upgraded. Visually, there are some differences as well. The upgraded P320 will have a slimmer trigger than a non-upgraded one. On the back of the slide, looking at it with the slide out, or if you just lock the slide to the rear, you will see a disconnector cut. Internally, you will see that there's a disconnector. On the sear itself, you'll also notice two about 90-degree cuts, and the original sears did not have those. All right, so looking at mine, yes, mine has been upgraded, or it came out the factory upgraded, and the uncommanded discharges happen with the early variants, but some people online are saying that even this design is not flawless and there could be some issues with this specific P320 design that can cause uncommanded discharges. But there have been a lot of people since then that have carried on this, hey, the pistol went off by itself. Now, could this just be people trying to cover up for a negligent discharge? There are also instances of people that would have these in the holster and they would just go off. After talking with some law enforcement friends, some military friends, I've come to conclude that the SIG P320 issues mainly stem from operator error. That's right, a lot of users might have a negligent discharge, might accidentally put their finger in the trigger, or when drawing it, have an issue. There's a lot of videos out there, and one thing you'll notice is that people will have their hand on it in some way or form, or it rubs up against something that pulls the trigger. And not only that, but just 3 months ago or so, there was an airman that lost his life, and his airman buddies made a statement, an official statement, stating that the pistol went off in the holster by itself and shot and killed the other airman. Now, when this hit the news, this went viral. This went all over social media, all over the internet. Hey, a U.S. military airman lost his life because a SIG discharged by itself. That was not good for SIG. That was not good for the military, not good for the U.S. Air Force. That was not good for other military and police that were using this pistol. They said, oh, wait, maybe our agency shouldn't order these because this just happened after the investigation, right? It come to find out that another airman was actually mishandling the firearm, and it discharged because he pulled the trigger when he was playing around with it, and he shot his fellow airman. He corroborated a story and got his fellow airmen that were witnesses to also follow along with his side of the story, saying that the pistol discharged itself. Now, if you know anything about forensic analysis, you might say, okay, well, hey, this could have happened, but after investigation, forensic analysis, interviews with the witnesses, something probably didn't add up because the trajectory of the bullet was probably different. If they said he put it on the table and it shot up, you know, that could have been different if it was shot straight. So essentially, they were able to find out that the story was made up and he was just trying to cover for himself. Well, that airman was then detained on top of the guilt being felt by him because he took his friend's life. He had a lot weighing on him, and he sadly passed away due to self-inflicted harm. That story, when it initially broke, did a lot of damage, and the SIG P320 and SIG as a brand itself has been tarnished. Now, SIG had also come out during this time and said that, hey, our pistols are 100% safe, it's user error, and y'all are trying to just make up some stories. Well, you know, sometimes it might not be the best idea to just cause more abrasiveness with your customer base, and I think SIG probably went around this the somewhat of more of an aggressive way. They're taking a stance on their products, saying their product's great. I get it, as a business, you know, they've already done their tests. There's plenty of people that have done tests on the SIG P320 itself, and they've come to conclude that, hey, this is safe. But, you know, there's always a small percentage of chance that, hey, maybe it did go off by itself. Maybe there was a manufacturing defect. So instead of saying, hey, we'll take a look at these, or take a look at this batch, or try to find out what's wrong with it, they just said, hey, no, they're all safe. We don't know what you're talking about. Now, out of all the military and police friends that I've talked to, none of them have ever had an instance where they've seen one go off by itself. And I did a poll on Instagram where I asked people, I said, hey, which one would you rather carry as a concealed carry weapon? And they went with a 1980s CZ82, a Czech-made 82 pistol. They'd rather trust a pistol from the 1980s that was made in a country that aligned with the Soviet Union than choose a SIG P320 modern day pistol, 17 round mag capacity versus 12 round mag capacity as a concealed carry. Now, the CZ82 does have a hammer. It's smaller. It uses a smaller bullet. It's still steel frame, so it's still quite heavy, but it's probably going to fit in more of those smaller holsters and probably be a little bit better concealed than a SIG P320. But even then, I think there's a lot of people that didn't want to choose the SIG P320 based on the issues that it's been tied to in the past. Now, before I came to the range, I was looking at my pistols and kind of thinking about which other pistol did I get recently that was more modern that might be comparable to a SIG P320. And what really stood out was the Glocks TP9 SF. Turkish made, imported into the US. It's probably a little bit more expensive now, but this was pretty much a $300 pistol. And honestly, it does pretty well at the range. A lot of competition shooters will go with one of these types of Turkish pistols because of its cheap entry price, accuracy, reliability, and mag capacity. So overall, I think the SIG P320 in my opinion, gets a lot of undue hate. I think SIG itself has been tarnished because of the prior issues of the SIG P320. I think if they would have realized that there was an issue before they released the pistol and fixed that issue before release, then it might not be something that we would be talking about today. You gotta think, the US military uses it, a lot of police forces use it. There's so many people that use this pistol, and a lot of people have TikTok, a lot of people have social media, so some of these Army guys might post on some of these social media platforms if something was to go wrong, like, yeah, I'm not trusting this, but you're just not seeing that. But you also gotta think, there's always a chance that a pistol could have a manufacturing defect or have a malfunction or a broken part that could cause it to go off if dropped or handled in an unsafe manner. That's just something that you have to take into consideration when handling these. So always point in a safe direction, keep your finger off the trigger, make sure that it's not loaded or there's not a round chambered until you're ready to fire. And always clear the weapon before you handle it. So with that being said, what are your guys' opinions about the SIG P320? Let me know in the comments section. Are you thinking about getting a SIG P320 police surplus? I think they're pretty cheap comparatively to what you can get for a new SIG P320. And I thought it'd be a great opportunity to get one since I don't have one. So do me a favor and pulverize the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Be sure to check out the merchandise link in the description, battlefieldcuratorstore.com. As always, be sure to learn history and curate history. Make it a great day.